Hallo und herzlich willkommen zum Auf die Fresse, the WXW Review podcast in English. I'm Ian Hamilton, as always, joined by Mike Kilby. And Mike, it may be WrestleMania weekend, but we've got a little bit of business to deal with back in Frankfurt. WXW Wheel of Wrestling 16 Carat Gold Revenge. But how are you doing? Been a busy week over Easter.
Yeah, it's been a busy week. I can't say it was been kind of a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, I thought in the midst of it, there was obviously quite a smart little WXW show, wasn't there? So
Yes, this one, of course, from the Batch Cap in Frankfurt, sold out long beforehand, so they could have gotten away with doing a mystery card, but they revealed the card, I think, as we were recording a couple of weeks ago. Well, usually they post after we've hit record and upload it, so it's nice to do it while we were recording. So, but yeah, so this was a Road 16 Carat Gold, 16 Carat Gold Revenge, the other end of 16 Carat.
we are on the road to next year's 16 Carat.
Yep, there's a lot of people already got for tickets already for next year's show, which is quite a bit of forward planning. But go through the results from the card. So the pre-show, we had Alex Duke and Norman Harris for big bucks, beating Mighty Vecchio and Igel Blanc. I don't want to call them Team Rev Pro officially after this past week, but it was. So I guess what we didn't touch on the shotgun vlog because we hadn't watched when it came out. Mike D kind of getting on the wrong side of people because of his friendly five, one better word. And yeah, same thing happened again here. It was clearing house at the end, accidentally hit Igel Blanc and ended up losing at the end. So I guess kind of like a banana peel finish, but Big Bucks getting up on paper at least a pretty big win in the early days.
They're a new team, so they need to get a few wins under their belt in theory. So they're kind of an interesting pairing. I think I like Alex Duke as a worker, and I think probably he can learn a lot from Harris. So yeah, it's an interesting addition. They'll probably win the title soon anyway, but it's an interesting addition anyway.
Then on the main show, we opened with Oscar beating Shigehiro Irie. This one, the result surprised me. Irie's final week ending with the company, so maybe not so much, but bear in mind, Oscar went out, first round of Carat, really pretty much like a losing run over weekend, all told. Irie, in the world title main event, so this is a pretty big win, probably Oscar's biggest singles win. Obviously, New Japan, he's not winning that much. I would say probably his biggest win to date in WXW and maybe his whole career, but was this match never really kicked onto high gear. But again, Oscar's still very raw. I mean, seeing people's feedback, Stan Fuse, his feedback from Carat, a bit of delay. Pretty much all the feedback on Oscar's positive. I mean, I was going back through 2 years ago when he was in his first run. It's night and day, and the guy's still filling out. So when he is complete, for one better term, it's gonna be scary.
Yeah, as I say, I think we've already said, but he's got to be one of the most, he has the potential to be the best wrestler that Europe has ever produced. I genuinely think that. I think just simply because of the size, the talent he's got in such a short time, because he's literally on third or fourth year of wrestling at this moment.
Because we would have been doing stuff in the Far Late Dojo before COVID, and then that run doesn't work. So real terms, if we take out the break everyone had.
Yeah, 3 to 4 years at most, and it's just he just has such a smart brain for just knowing what things to do when, and he knows he's one of the best hot tags, I think, in sort of indie wrestling at the moment. And it's just I think him going over Irie here in a way isn't really a surprise, because Irie is I suppose in a way he's on a losing streak, and Oscar is really he's just a rough diamond, and he's just got to always be going upwards and onwards.
We'll see how that goes. Obviously, we done with the WXW for now. See if he's back for Tag Festival. Up next, there is like early today stuff. Rob Dreisker, Amboss, Lawrence, Roman Nicholas. Dreisker then telling Roman, "You're going to get your world title match of True Colors in Dresden." We'll follow up on that once we wrap up the shotgun stuff, because I completely got caught off guard, and I feel really dumb for having been caught off guard. Don't know if you're in the same boat, but next we had the shotgun title rotation, getting this rematch against Lavaniel. I thought this was fine, but again, these kind of rematches were always I guess, almost like admin kind of
Contractually
stuff.
obliged.
Yeah, I mean, and I know some people hate the WWE automatic rematch stuff. It almost feels like admin, beat the guy twice, put in your rear mirror, and you're done. That was kind of the thing with rotation here. One thing I would say with Lavaniel, I know he's changed his nickname. If he's gonna, keep a kind of, galactic stuff, but being a bad guy, I that Finnish name needs to go. Like, I don't mind the move. The name just needs to be different, because to me, just right now, just seems to be I'm Levinal but just grumpy.
I suppose, but then he should always say he is the same. He's just doing it for himself, I suppose.
True. I mean, again, it was that whole time where we were kind of, workshopping the name for a while. What's the German name? I always preferred it, the Sternschnupper, which probably translates to the same thing. But for a while, the German commentary was using that. Then they just, anglicized everything. Um, again, it was a decent match, but again, this just seemed to be Lord Vaniel putting notation in the back, and future challenger coming up. And I guess, yeah, move on to Ilya Bloom against Yoichi. This was the third of the three single matches we had. Yoichi winning it back to the roots, Bloom winning the Road to 16 Carat Gold qualifier final in Bielefeld. This was the third one. Didn't think this was quite up there with the other matches. I'm not saying Bloom was maybe a bit gun shy coming off a concussion, but I think this was a good match. But I think I preferred the maybe second or third of the three in my mind. Maybe it's because Back to Roots was catching everyone by surprise, whereas this one people had higher expectations. But yeah, Bloom and Yoichi. I mean, this is Yoichi's final match in Bristol. It's been a pretty decent run. But I mean, this is a feud I'd like to see him keep coming back to, even it's just like callbacks, future carrots or shot, or even like shortcut for tops. If we're both in together. Again, this all depends on if Yoichi's brought back to Pro Wrestling no sooner rather than later. But nice little run from here.
Yeah, I thought this was good. I think it was probably there was one earlier on in the year which I thought was a lot better. I can't remember the exact location. Probably a Bielefeld one. I thought that was good, but yeah, this it was yeah, it was a good sort of fun match really. As I say, I think it's Bloom. I think he still does need his hand held a little bit through some of these matches. He's not quite. I feel like he's maybe lost a step in the last sort of 2 or 3 months. But yeah, I think this is the sort of thing you can probably go back to, because he has sort of said, we've got unfinished business, and need to, they're almost destined to do it forever, aren't they? These two in a way.
I mean,
Maybe
about
he'll go to
Roscoe only been a
Japan.
few years. I mean, saying about Roscoe only been a few years in. No, I'm looking back in this cage match, and Bloom only made his debut December 2021.
Yeah, he's back. He's less
So
than Oscar, isn't he?
yeah, so really, you were looking at, God, I remember it was in one of the Academy shows. Was it Strigger was posting the like live tweeting this back when it was in Essen, and it was, more like, well, how do you say spell his name, because it was one of these. Is it Leah Bloom with an H in the middle of Bloom? It was
Well,
like it was
I
all over, but
I first heard the name because Bryce could do an interview with one of the British podcasts. Couldn't tell you who it was.
might
Wasn't
have
us.
been Team Tight. I remember
No, it
the
wasn't
same
them.
one.
It wasn't them. It was another one. But it was. I remember someone did it. He did an interview, and they sort of said, like, who are the ones to look out for, and he said, the two ones to look out for are Oshi and Ilya Bloom. And he said, they've got the potential to go to the top, and obviously I went Ilya Bloom. I was like, okay, it's Ilya, like Ilya Dragunov,
Yep,
but it's obviously not.
Lee
But
was in Elijah, because of
yeah,
course it is.
yeah, but yeah, I think there's a lot of potential there. It's like anything. It's hard to go hard on a lot of these people, because a lot of these wrestlers are still quite not inexperienced, but well, actually, in a way, yes, they are quite inexperienced, aren't they?
I mean, this in his third year, so not
Yeah,
quite the sophomore stuff, but yeah, I mean, some of these names because we are watching every show they put out. It's the whole getting no can't see wood for the trees kind of stuff.
there's there's,
Um,
there's people who wrestled for twice as long who work in. I'm going to use a comparable promotion, RevPro, and I think you can compare the two. And there's people who have worked twice, potentially three times as long as Ilya Bloom, who are nowhere near as good as he is.
Yeah, I'm not going to name names, but there
No,
are a
no,
few
no.
people who can fall into that bucket that I
But
can
yeah,
easily. Yeah,
and like I don't feel there's people who are 2 to 3 year level wrestlers, 2 to 3 year experienced wrestlers who are working at that level in England. And I can't think of anybody really at all.
not that
Not off
no.
the top of my head, anyway. But not to say that doesn't exist. Maybe Leon, but then I think he was possibly been around for longer than that. I think Leon Slater is probably the only because he's been, I think, barring a brief bit just before the pandemic, he's basically been wrestling for 4 years at most, really, isn't it? So obviously he's a good
Um,
person. He's an interesting person to compare Ilya Bloom to, but
yeah, I
he's
mean,
the only person I can think of, really.
in terms of like the I'm trying to pick my words here carefully. As far as like the bigger name promotions, like I know Leon was working for the likes of UKW, like way pre-pandemic. I know there's a breed like for those kind of level
Yeah,
shows. He was doing stuff way back when, but yeah, definitely in terms of I'm going to use massive air quotes main roster stuff. Yeah, I would say definitely comparable, but one like I say one's being pushed. I don't even say it's almost like an arms race, like Leon was being pushed by RevPro and Progress, who could get them highest quicker, and now obviously he's with TNA. Yeah, definitely with Leo, it's definitely been a case of slow and steady because what they don't want to do, and we've seen this countless times, is hot new star, push him to the moon, and then oh crap, we've done everything we can with him, and then he's
da-
resented and he's
dare I say
um
they did that with Lavaniel?
well, I think with Lavaniel may well have been
Yeah,
a pushed into a corner, but yeah, that's probably quite a good proxy there. But yes, we'll see how Aaliyah goes. I mean, the promo stuff he did in the Shotgun blog, mentioned the injury, and he's next up for Lavaniel in the Shotgun title stuff in the True Colors later this month. So we'll have to see whether that's going to be another loss or whether they keep pushing the vinyls. Definitely an interesting match to make, especially given where both men are. Next up, we had a non-title tag match. Amboss, Icarus and Robert Dreisker taking on Dennis Stolnik and Hector Invictus. Um, I don't really know what to make of this one. Like a lot of the match, we tried the whole, Amboss weren't seeing eye try, and we had, Icarus and Dreisker, flat out arguing, and then it became just a, oh, ha ha, we got you kind of stuff. But this almost seemed to be a win to, kind of get them to set up for, talk about late. But to me, it just seemed weird that, as a mid card match, you have the tag champions losing. Like, to me, I think if this hadn't been Frankfurt, this probably would have been the main event just because of where it was standing in the, in terms of storylines.
yeah. I think it was. Well, it was the half main, wasn't it? I presume they would have probably done a
Oh, the
break
interval, yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with you there. And I think like the one that did get the main event, unfortunately, yeah, exists in the bubble of Frankfurt. Really, I thought this was all right, but it was and unlike the fake teased turn from Icarus, um, that was quite good within this match. But obviously, it was a fake thing and something they were sort of leaning towards. Amboss had completely done it halfway through the show, but I was kind of like, well, bit of a weird thing to be doing halfway through a show that
Yeah, you probably do the
barely.
split in the main event somewhere, and maybe not even in Frankfurt.
Yeah, yeah, it would be weird to do it halfway through a show that a percentage, a fraction of the people would be watching compared to maybe the other events. So, but yeah, I thought this was a decent one. So it was just a bit of a strange place to put it.
Then we had the announcement for the interval that WXW is going back to Frankfurt July 20th. Not a surprise, but they're crowning a European Championship. The Wrestling European Meisterschaft. I'm probably going to butcher that, so I'm just going to cover the Wrestling EM. Um, They haven't announced what this is going to be, other than a tournament to crown a European champion. I know we've got this in the newspaper, but it's been mentioned here. There's been some speculation it's going to be European rounds, which not too keen on. Hey, another belt. They did away with women's title, so it's another belt. You're not locking up. It's all going to be intergender, for one better word. You're not going to be locking up. Say Jane Neal on the shotgun title, or Stephanie Mays on the world title, stuff like that. So, another belt's not too bad. It's just a case of how do they do it. But if it's all going to be European rules, to me, it's going to be. But I can see that being almost like the old shotgun lottery gimmick. It'll be fine for a while, but it's going to get old.
Yeah, I would hope it's not. I hope it's not the round system, but if it is, then okay, fair enough. As long as it sticks within the ecosystem of just that purely that title, that's fine. It's a bit of an often repeated thing, but there's a reason why the round system has died. It's had its time, and I don't think, as much as there's possibly a little bit of nostalgia for it amongst, especially in obviously European wrestling, there's a big nostalgia for it. I don't think it's something which there's any real, outside of being a sort of novelty every now and again. I don't feel there's a real thirst for it I don't feel there's anybody who's saying, "Oh, I want a round system company or round system title anywhere soon." I don't see anybody shouting for that, so I don't really. If it is that, then I'll be a bit disappointed. But I think we'll just have to wait and see on this because it's a bit thin on the ground on.
I know we had oh god, what was it? The NXT one, NXT UK.
Yeah, the Heritage Cup. Yeah,
and that got polished over to full fat NXT, which I guess fine, but it's the kind of thing where it's only on every third or fourth show. But yeah, I mean, say how it goes. I know there's some speculation on the day that it was that. Since then, WWE hasn't really said much other than it's a European title, so we'll see if they're workshopping that. But yeah, another belt, and see how it's built, how it's portrayed, and where it stands in the great scheme of things. Because
I suppose the issue is how do you differentiate it from the shotgun belt? And I suppose that is the way you do it.
Well, shotgun belt's 15-minute time limit, so I guess by that you've got that differentiated. But also, I mean, I'm looking at times on this show. There's only 2 matches going off 15. So
it's a 15-minute time limit show, but surely if it's going to a rounds based, if the European belt goes to a rounds based system, then surely that will have a time limit as well.
If it's still with, it's like what we did with Catch Grand Prix, yeah, and be a case of, I mean, again, you think how's that going to portray, because they never really toured with the round stuff. First Catch Grand Prix was the closed set stuff, then they did it on the Oberhausen, that not well received Catch Grand Prix show that ended up being completely reformatted. So yeah, I think if they do this, I could see it being maybe like a short-term gimmick, or maybe first person who wins it demands one of those rules, and then the beat, and then it's put up into history. Again, we'll see what they announce, and we've got, like, say, 3 months between now and that show. Heck, we don't even have names for tournaments, so yeah, it's just very much unbelt. But moving on from Interval, we had KXS, of course, Axel Tish and Fast Time Mudo against Bobby Guns and Stephanie Mays. This one I kind of enjoyed, like, in terms of, obviously, it's another new tag team, so of course KXS are going to be getting the wins. One of them wasn't too keen on the end. So throughout the whole match, we had Mudo not being, I say, gun shy, like he wasn't too keen tagging in there with Steph. And then the end is almost like the whole cycle. Oh, I'm some switch flips, I choke you out for the stoppage, and then laughing it off, like until the whole, oh, I'm laughing it off, I'm crazy, me. That I kind of got that until the whole, oh look, I'm crazy. It's almost like, dare I say, Poundland Gabe Kidd stuff for people who don't like that.
Yeah. Gabe Kidd's not far off Poundland anyway.
Rather you saying that for me. But this match for was fine. I mean, and again, like I said, we are having to establish the tag team, Maze and Guns, but not a regular tag team. I would strongly I would not be surprised if one or both of Mays and Guns win the European title tournament. And the stuff coming out of this, we'll talk about my shotgun vlog. That's going to keep us going. But it's a decent tag match. But yeah, I think with I've got a feeling this is going to be another one where Mays and Mudo and Tisha's going to be getting tag titles at some point. But as we said, when KXS first formed, Mudo's still a number 2 on the team, and Miss is far more distant number 2. So a lot of work to do to even try and pump to Axeman's level. But we're going to try.
I suppose the thing is you kind of always you have him as the number 2 in this team, but like he's kind of like justified, like, oh, look at my tough mate, and I feel
Yeah.
like that sort of dynamic does work because he can
What's
sort of
the Carat vlog? No, it was him being well, you were busy with Carat, and then of course Mays doing the whole. Well, it's not my fault now if you qualified, and the two of them looking like, how dare you speak back to us, kind of thing. But I kind of get that vibe. But again, it's the whole thing of you've got to watch the vlogs and this, so kind of want to see a bit more of that pull through the matches because it can work. I think it's just a case of getting these, the kind of chemistry seeing in the vlogs and getting that in front of a live crowd.
Yeah, I think I think there's legs in it. I think for sure, but as I say, I think it's still early days with this. I'm not sure if I'm convinced or not, to be honest.
Yeah. Next up, I had a rematch of the Carat final, Peach Tahani and Lawrence Roman. Of course, this being Frankfurt and not Oberhausen, you didn't have the same crowd backing. So Roman, I would say, we thought was maybe teasing a double turn, or what? No, clearly not the case yet. Frankfurt not entirely behind Lawrence. Yeah, I think this was. I don't think it was anywhere close to the match we had at Carat just because of the crowd and you didn't have the investment on it. No, I'm not saying it was a bad match. I think it's one of these again, the contractually obligated rematch. I think the interesting one here is because you had Roman win again, rather than Tahani win over 1-1
Yeah, because
kind of
then you
spinning
do the
match.
third one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of telling me Tahani is maybe spinning off to something else, no long term, and not see where that goes. But yeah, on paper, if you watch the show to this point, you think, well, that's a big win for Laurie, and he's got his world title match in his hometown next month. Yeah, but a decent match. Again, fact semi-main event. We thought the Amboss tag would be main event anywhere else. This probably would be a main event anywhere else. What was main event? Yeah, High Pom Limited, Joseph Fennick Jr. and Tristan Archer against Who and Aaron Insane. Of course, it probably would have been a trios match. Had it been, I just realized completely screwed up the names and review. For some reason I put Archer and Anil Marek in. It's obviously Fennec and Archer. But yeah, it's one of these where, again, High Perform Limited had been on a losing streak. Who's just come back? Aaron Insane's just come back. It's in Frankfurt. Gee, I wonder who's going to win. I certainly didn't need 22 minutes of this, though.
No. Yeah, it didn't need to be 20 minutes long. I remember I was watching this and I was I actually watched this one on a train and I thought I was going to have to like pause it when and get off the train. Like that was how long it was running. I think Ahura looked good. He hasn't sort of missed a step, really. He hasn't sort of lost a step. He's still kind of the. I think, like we've always said, the ceiling's very high for Ahura, but the basement can be very low. But yeah, I thought it looked pretty decent in here. I thought Archer and Fennec was probably the most interesting of the pairings I've seen from High Performer Limited. I think it seemed to work best, and we'll go on to obviously the shotgun log in a minute. But obviously they've sort of teased that might spin off. We don't know. Aaron Insane, I'm not sure. I don't think he sort of said in the shotgun blog afterwards that he wants to go for the world championship, and I'm like, yeah, all right. He did say that, didn't he? Or did I dream it?
If he's going for some gold, and I think
I think he said WWE Championship, so I don't know, maybe. If we end up with a Robert Dreisker versus Aaron Insane main event at the next Frankfurt show, I'm not sure that's going to go over.
Was it Fight Back? Literally just ran that.
Yeah, they did.
Back.
They did. You're right. They did because they built to
Was
that
the last
show on
Frankfurt
the.
show built? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if Aaron Insane is maybe the promoter then for the local Frankfurt shows.
It would not surprise me. I mean,
I wouldn't. We don't. I
Piers,
don't know.
Sebastian, don't get any ideas for Bielefeld.
I'd take Holnickel versus Dreisker in the main event for sure.
I'm pretty sure Sebastian wouldn't want that more. But one thing I would say, and
He'd
this,
give a good go.
who have the whole match of not in his gear, he looked like this is going to age me horribly. He looked like he's going to deliver some milk tray.
It's a little bit before
Like
me
just
actually as well, to be honest. But
yeah, just like
yeah, I know the reference. Yeah,
black and headstones. Like I don't know whether this was like. I mean, again, we're going to move on to the shocking vlog. So, first we opened up for Hura after we did the recaps. Pretty much him saying, "Yeah, I'm not going to be around as much as you expect me to be."
well, we didn't expect you to be here at all
Well, true,
3 weeks ago.
But at the same point, I do wonder how much of it because Maggot, he's on the shelf, doesn't need surgery, but apart from a few months, so clearly this was Maggot. You'd expect it's meant to be him and Maggot, and then we're just tailed off into Maggot doing whatever. But we'll see what comes from there. The other thing that was teased on whose part was a matter of Matt Cardona, the Drive of Champions, which, considering Cardona, if the Carat announcement was all about, I'm coming for your belts. Last time I checked, who didn't have any belts, so I don't know if this is like a reformatting what they want to do now with what they've got or what. But yeah, that to me, maybe not much out of giving Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have given him though, to be honest.
True.
Maybe put the shotgun belt on someone a bit more amicable. I don't know. It's a bit of an odd one, really. Because the thing is, I feel like Cardona will get the cheers as well. I feel like, yeah, I don't know about that one. Is that before or after the European Meisterschaft?
Before Drive
Before.
Champions is June 1st and the European is July 20.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, there we go. There goes my theory.
Unless we do a Cardona with a shotgun belt in the US like we did with Ava Everett, and the European belt is strictly in Europe and cannot leave the continent.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. It would be an odd one. I think maybe just they'll find something because they've already sold. There will be tickets that will be sold on the back of Cardona. It doesn't really matter what he is doing, to be honest.
Oh, of course. Next up, we had Baby Allison because she's still part of High Perform Limited, although in that main event, walked out on them. She's very not sure about what happened with Maggot. I still think it's way too early to be even thinking of splitting anybody from the group. Okay, had Griff McCoy fight, but I was like the whole was it Aaron Rourke and the White Who Cute the tag festival. Clearly into the weekend and out afterwards. But yeah, to me, it's still way too early to be doing anything like that. Um, elsewhere with High Perform Limited, the French lads threatening an uprising. Anil Marek doesn't speak French, so Tristan Archer and Joseph Fennick Jr., what they're saying, he just goes over his head. I could see them eventually splitting out, but you literally just turned Fennick at Tag Festival, not officially Tag Festival. So again, maybe a bit too soon for that. Unless these are all seeds being sown for later this year. Lawrence Strowman finally shook hands with Paige Tahani, and then the big swerve. The match at True Colors was going to be for the world title with Robert Dreisker as a tag team partner because we're going for the world tag team titles again.
Yeah, and the Laurie was like, "Pardon."
Yeah, I mean, and I was talking with Strigger about this on Twitch last week. And I kind of I don't know if this is going to be a plan or whether me saying this is taking this out for plans. If you keep low for Carat title shot and you have say shortcut to the top won by Icarus, that's an obvious tag festival main event. Amboss v Amboss v Amboss, but I also don't know how much the crowd be invested in just in terms of you've got two not turning on Dreisker, mean, not ideal, like we'd want one, but yeah, I really don't know how that would work. How that would go down, especially the traveling stuff and the build up stuff and the lead up to it if they do go down that road. But definitely a lot more seeds of dissension being sown. Especially early in the show, Lawrence from being accused of, you've changed since you won Carat. You need to prove you're one of my guys. So is that what they do? They win the belts back, and then it's the warring tag partners. Not the whole can they coexist, but the tensions in between. Oh, I want my title. Oh, we've got to defend these, and these take priority, and all that. So
Yeah,
we'll see how we go. But clearly, we're absolutely not paying these off straight away. Which, again, in hindsight, probably should have noticed we weren't going to be burning with Carat title shot in 6 weeks.
yeah, I think that makes sense, and I think we were very unlucky where we had obviously a very very good slow burn faction collapses story. Nearly about 6 or 7 years ago with the Rise stuff, we had a very very slow burn, and unfortunately that one was cut short for various reasons, which remain a mystery to this day. And I think they kind of need to just get this. They shouldn't be rushing this at all. And I feel like they're less like these three are less likely to do something stupid like has been alleged for the people that were kicked out of the storyline then. But yeah, I think you just 6 weeks. I say 6 weeks. Is it 6 weeks between Carat and Dresden? You said.
Carat was start of March, Dresden's 27th, so 6-7 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it makes sense, and as much as Dresden is a big important town, it's still a B town for WXW. It is a very strong B town, but it's not Oberhausen, it's not Hamburg. So there's a lot to I think there's probably a lot more value in that match if they ever do it, which hopefully they will do. If they do it needs to be done in Oberhausen, surely.
Yeah, but again, I think long term that may be an issue of probably can go back and check, but in terms of like the title changes, just going back through the world title at least, Tristan Archer winning in Vio in 2022, beating Jörn Simmons, Jörn in Frankfurt, but largely speaking, a lot of the majority of the world title changes have been in Oberhausen. And granted, that's the town everyone associates with like Sully, but it is the kind of thing where you probably do want to be looking at doing a title change.
Well, Dresden got the Tisha win recently. When Tisha got his return, he got the title win there, didn't he?
Let me look. Unified World Title. So I'm going
sure
back.
He did.
So I'm going back to. So I'm going first order. So Dreisker Cross won in Oberhausen. Irie won in Oberhausen. Lavaniel won in Oberhausen. Tristan Archer won in Via. Jörn won in Frankfurt. Archer won in Oberhausen again. Axman October 2021 in Dresden.
Yeah, so he did get it.
So yeah, True Close was what 2.5 year back. So yeah, so you're getting, but I think it's one of these people largely go, oh, it's only Oberhausen, which makes sense, but at the same point, I'm not saying don't do a random title change in, I don't know, Papenburg, but I think it's one of these you've got to be very careful of not doing all the big stuff in Oberhausen, because eventually people latch on. It's like with WWE house show stuff. You don't want to be doing stuff for the sake of doing it. But at the same time, you also need to be careful you're not pigeonholing Oberhausen's the only place to be.
Yeah, of course. No, I agree with that. Yeah. But say, and in fairness, like say they are changing the titles elsewhere, because obviously Bielefeld's getting the title changes. Dresden has had a few. Yeah, there is value in the other shows, I think.
Yeah. Elsewhere in the vlog, we had Mike D get himself a tag title shot. So him and Nick Schreier, of all people, against Cash and Hector, with the comedy being Dennis Dunn being annoyed at Hector for making a title match without consulting him. Bobby Guns challenged Mudo to a battle without honor or humanity, And if I didn't want a copyright strike, I'd certainly be playing with Kill Bill music. It's basically Ambition but without ropes. That'll be in Leipzig later this month. And then other stuff, Lavaniel building up really blue match, Igel Blanc, I want to be the first European champion. You're going to get a few more, so I'd guess, before Frankfurt. But yeah, pretty decent show and stuff coming out of it. Definitely setting up a lot. Getting 2 shows this month, Leipzig and of course Dresden. So plenty to talk about for us next month. But going to bring back an old favourite, Mike, because we're trying to get a few people travelling again. So we've got Tempesta, of course, from Vinny the Beast. He's back in Big Japan. Returned there last month. He's now starting to work with Alpha Mask. So that's, I guess, the new
He did
wrinkle.
take it off just before Christmas, yeah.
But it looks like he's done the Project Havoc group, at least going by his tweets. Based on that tweet a couple of days back, with Bobby Gunn's My Only tag partner. He has lost his first few matches back. Most recently alongside Endokara, losing to Fuminori Abe and Takuya Nomura over in Shinkiba First Ring on April 1st. So see how that goes. Debutant in Big Japan was Jacob Crane this past weekend. He teamed up, losing to, I'm so glad I wrote this down, the sensational Grand Passion Mask number 4. I've also screwed it up because it's the intelligent sensational Grand Passion Mask number 4. Losing to Court Sekafuda and Black Mensore in Nagoya. Then the next day, also Shinkiba First Ring. Team with Kazuma Kikuta to lose to Okami, Daishi Hashimoto and Hideyoshi Kamitani. A few Tag Festival alumni in Big Japan, just realised.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Norman Harris made an appearance in America this past weekend. He popped up at the American Excellence Wrestling promotion in Hamburg, Pennsylvania. I don't think it's been announced for the Carat, but you'd think if he's over in Pennsylvania last weekend, you'd expect it to be popping on some shows now, surely.
Yeah, I've not seen anything, unless he's just going to randomly turn up in a scramble, I suppose. But do we even know if he's in the country still?
I haven't seen, but I think probably should alert on Fuse that he's going to, has a chance of seeing him. I mean, I know he's seen a lot of Kennedy Hardcastle and Jaden Ewan and all the shows he's been watching, so maybe a bit of a heads up there. Bit close to home, Mike DeVecchio and Nigel Blanc, we mentioned, made the Rev Pro debuts, working Revolution Rumble and then Southampton next night. In Southampton, Oscar went to a double count out with Mike D, and Mike D's posted a out of nowhere photo of the Epic Encounters graphic for Rev Pro and Stevenage later this month. So I was putting 2 and 2 together there. You'd think 3 matches going to be in Stevenage. I looked absolutely fantastic, albeit in defeat Robbie X. I'd expect he'd be back at some point again, just a case of finding dates that line up. Of course, the obvious one, we recording this in the gap between WrestleMania weekend shows. Load of WXW names and adjacent names in Philadelphia, New Jersey for the indie stuff. Of course, Robert Dreisker and Lawrence Roman, they're working for Action Wrestling's Dean show later tonight in a trios match against the Good Hand. Dreisker and Roman were also working there for Game Changer, the JCW and GCW vs. World show later on tonight. I believe in 10 minutes, as we're recording anyway, they're going to be on the Monster Factory show as well. They'll be on YouTube. So this will be of no use for anyone watching the or listening to us. But Mike, there's a heads up for YouTube after we're done. You'll probably see them on the Monster Factory show.
Lovely.
Also, a couple of stuff. Obviously, we've seen Daniel McCarby, Timothy Thatcher will be on Dean late tonight. We'll be watching on Friday morning. Team was also working Bloodsport. That's early on Thursday night, which also has Fuminori Abe and Takuya Nomura. That's a bit of a show stealer, I think, for a lot of people after last year's match with the We Are the Fighting Detective show. That's one I can pronounce, not the other Japanese name. Igor Blanc's work. Yep, that's one. Yeah. Igor Blanc's working that same Monster Factory show alongside Tiago Montero and Kuro for those who watched the Five Power shows. And then he's got Jordan Oliver on that Game Changer show versus the World. So yeah, a few familiar names. I'm pretty sure every chance you can have likes of Norman popping up.
There was one more, obviously, you've not written it down, but Leighton Buzzard, he was in the... We do occasionally mention him, I think, when he was out in Japan, but Leighton Buzzard had a quite serious injury on Sunday.
Yes.
We was directly above him on the balcony at the York Hall.
Not
Well, I
literally.
don't,
Line of sight, yeah.
but I don't know if you heard him where he basically said he was like, "It's gone," and then unfortunately we did find out that his knee's buggered
Yeah.
for at least a year, isn't it? So poor bugger.
Yeah, so like, again, watching on VOD, it's always for simple stuff. Like you'll see people doing like twisty, flippy shit through glass and barbed wire and come out okay, bleeding, but never really anything gruesome. This was the bog standard or slip out the suplex, and you could see when he landed, his knee went sideways, and he then stood up, and he just completely went. There's some fellas next to me were playing, say, amateur commentating. They were saying, "Oh, the leg's broken," and then of course Oku finished the match and then grabbed the injured leg to pull on for the pin. So I don't know that's being gone by then anyway. But yeah, the fact that he was hobbling out an hour later for I can't do the rumble. Here Connor Mills have my spots. Like that's insane. He was posting yesterday. He's back in the gym. Obviously not working with legs, but hey, if he's got that kind of work ethic and he's keeping the spirits high, I would not be surprised if he's back soon from that. But obviously, best wishes for full and speedy recovery because you absolutely don't like to see people getting hurt, seriously or otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was worth adding on because obviously we do sometimes talk about him in the same.
So a couple of news bits on the end. So obviously we talked about the European Europa Meisterschaft. Femme Fatale's been added for the World Tag Team Festival weekender. That's going on Sunday at noon. Previously had the Progress X No X Defy show on Saturday, the time to be confirmed. Carat, I think WXW announced was about a week or two back. Pretty down for balcony, standing tickets, and rows form back. And bear in mind, we're like 11 months away from Carat Vats. If ticket sales are slowing down, but that first month sales, got to be up there for quickest for tickets have gone. I mean, heck, if you're planning on going, in a circle's down to like the last 30 tickets. So unless you want to try
look
on
the
second hand market
as we speak. I'm literally buying my ticket as we speak.
I know a load of people was it the December podcast was saying, "Oh, it's down the last X," and then people scrambling like mad on the secondary market. I think it's one of these. If it's going to be sold out by summer, I would expect. So if you're planning on going, and you're just getting other tickets later, get you in a circle because that's going to be a lot more easy to get rid of if you can't make it. But yeah, so Tag Festival still plenty of availability, but they've barely announced anything for that. So keep tabs and all that. But next up on the docket, we've got True Colors from the Stromberg in Dresden on April 27th. Main event seems to be Cash and Hector defending the tag titles against Robert Dreisker and Lawrence Roman. Also got Who against Paige DeHoney. Aaliyah Bloom challenging for the Vinyl Shotgun title. Oscar and Anita Vaughn against Bobby Guns and Stephanie Mays. Baby Allison against Jane Nero. Axel Tischer and Fast Time Mudo against Mike D and Nick Schreier. Now, Ben, Mike and Nick have got a tag title shot in the books. Is this going to be KXS's first loss, or is this going to be a derailer for Mike, another friendly fire moment?
Well, I suppose, or could Schreier join his Ostdeutschland friend?
Oh god, yeah, because I was looking through the results. So
I don't think so for clarity, but
I mean, they did have in Erfurt was a non-televised event the day after Frankfurt. Just they didn't have much of a car, but something jumped out. Sportfreund Ost, Jane New and Emil Wöhler, who we may have heard under another name on the German and English commentary over Coward Weekend. So clearly, maybe spitballing that, so you may not be too far off, whether it's a wider group, but then again, you've got High Performer Limited, you've got Amboss. Do you really need a third group of baddies, I guess? Unless you want to try, go extra metro and try like Hard Foundation, where they're booed in the West and cheated in the East.
Yeah, you could also have I suppose you got the big bucks as well, who another lots going on.
Nobody should love, everybody should hate.
Yeah.
Next night, April 28th, with the Hellraiser in Leipzig. This is Wheel of Wrestling 60. This is being taped. Announced we've got Axel Tischer against Ahura, Mike D against Hector, Paige Tahani against Leah Bloom, Jane Neal against Stephanie Mays, Oscar and Anita against Anil Mark and Baby Allison, and the Battle Without Honor or Humanity, Bobby Guns Fast Time Mudo. Said earlier, it's basically was it Raw Underground or Ambition Without Ropes, you want to call it that. Was it Evolve? I swear had a match like that as well, where they just took ropes down. It was one
Well,
that
WXW did it. They had the at 16 Carat 2017. You had Alpha Kevin versus Marius von Beethoven.
God, yes. There's one I need to go back and rewatch. If only just for the just for the posterity effect of it. But suppose the next two televised shows after that, we've got May 3rd in Mendig. This very flat out said it's not being taped. You've got Robert Dreisker and Lawrence Roman against Paige Tahani and Nick Schreier. Anita Vaughan against Jane Nero. May 4th would be Alt Kesselschmiede in Papenburg. I suspect that's going to be taped. May 17th, Markthal in Hamburg. June 1st for Turbine Hall in Noberhaus and the Drive of Champions. July 20th at Batch Cup for the Wrestling European Championships. And August 10th in Turbine Hall in Oberhausen, presumably for a shortcut to the top. But yeah, plenty to come. But Mike, that's bang on 8 o'clock for us. I guess time to be going back to our WrestleMania stuff. But anything to quickly plug before we disappear for a few weeks?
No, but you can follow me everywhere on. You can follow me everywhere. So Twitter, Instagram, everything like that. It's at Mike Kilby on everything.
Again, you can follow the website at Big Back Body Drop on Twitter, at Back Body Drop on Instagram. I'm at Ian Wrestling on most platforms. Again, if you don't like, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe, leave a review, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen for podcasts. It all helps, feeds whatever algorithms are listening to us. And thanks for listening, everyone. Enjoy WrestleMania weekend, and we will see you probably next month. Cheers.
Cheers.